What's going on today, guys? It's GLG Garret, and today's video talking about Dallas Cardfest and how I did with Blue Yellow Nami. So initially I started testing Nami before the ban list was announced, and it felt like they had pretty strong matchups. And in my mind, the leader ability was just really strong. So being able to draw when your opponent takes a life, and then being able to be a 7k leader for defense felt like really strong to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get into the deck list. First off, for consistency, I'm playing 2 Peronas. This made a lot of sense to me because I wasn't a big fan of the searchers available, either the Sengoku or the Yamato. And I also felt like, neither of them searched out Kid, which felt really impactful in a lot of matchups. So I ended up going with Perona just to be able to either, bottom deck if I don't need those cards or whatnot, right? So that's it for that. And then going into 2Ks, 4 Zeus, 4 Hiyori, and 2 Baby 5s. So the Zeus is really good for just popping bodies if you need to into the more aggro matchups. It's also really good into Bonnie when they try to starve you. Being able to play Zeus, pop their body, and then get the removal off is great. Hiyori, same idea. You can use it to put Kikanojos in your life or into decks like Bonnie, kind of unstarve yourself. And then next impactful card we're going for is 4 Nojiko. And so this deck, this card's just super broken for the value. Being only a 2 cost that bounces a 5 is super strong. And you pretty much need to see this in every matchup except blue-purple Luffy. But it is still strong in a blue-purple to bounce their Rosinante or their Nami blockers. But in general, it's really good into Rayleigh and then the green decks, stuff like that. Next up, we're running 4 chump blockers, so 2 Laws, 2 Vistas. They're the same thing, just 1/1 blockers. The leader effect makes it really nice because you could just pitch these and it's not really a big deal. But these are really good essentially for protecting your board. Usually it doesn't end up being a blocker to protect life. It's play it out to protect Kid or Odin or whatever else. Next up, we got 4 Kikanojo. This card is really strong, especially because you could put it in life with Hiyori. The trigger's great, and yeah, 4/6 stat line is just strong into blue-purple as well. The next 4 costs we're running is the Basil Hawkins. And so basically the idea that I was going for with these 2 is it kind of makes your mid-game characters kind of anti-removal. Kikanojo 1 healing you, and then Hawkins taking away your opponent's life. Hawkins is the card I really want to see into Zoro. Kikanojo is kind of more what I want to see into other matchups. Usually the 5 life leaders, it makes it a little harder to get Kikanojo off. So I'd rather play Hawkins to force them to either not swing into it or trash their life, which gets me closer to winning, essentially. Next, we're running 4 Pudding. I had it at 3 for a while. I realized you just need 4 against blue-purple Luffy. This card, I think, won me probably 2 games against blue-purple. And yeah, it's just such a game changer when they get super greedy hands. And yeah, that's about it. Everyone knows it's good. Next, going into sort of top end, running 4 Kumas. Obviously just a strong healing card. And then also sort of anti-removal along with Hawkins Kikanojo. Running 2 Jozu. This helps into the greed matchups, specifically Bonnie. It also helps into Rayleigh. Also, being able to like recur these resources you played out in the early game is nice. I would say it wasn't like super impactful this weekend, but it's a 2-up, so it's fine. Next we're running 2 Odin and 2 Luffys. So these help out. Again, Odin, like MVP. I was only playing 1 going into Friday. Someone convinced me to run 2, and I'm glad they did. It won me a couple blue-purple Luffy matchups. Just being able to get the double swing off. Also, just the pressure that like the presence of this card has, knowing that they have to know that at any point you could just put 7 Dawn on it and swing twice. Kind of changes the way they play. And then we're running 4 8-cost kids. I think this card's super strong. The cycle also super strong. That's about all there is to it. 3 red rocks for blue-purple Luffy. If you get to a point sometimes where you both sort of stabilize with one big body, and then they start just playing out Namis and whatnot. If you can red rock and remove the one body they have, it all of a sudden puts you in like a weird advantage spot. And then lastly, running one gravity blade just for the green matchups, and then it's strong into Rayleigh also, and then the trigger is just really good. So going into matchups a little bit, I ended up going 7-3. So round 1 I played a Zoro, green Zoro. I went first and I won. There wasn't anything necessarily super impactful that I did in that game. I think it was just a well-timed pudding, and then round 2 I played a Rayleigh. I went second and I won. That's typically a favorable matchup, especially going second, I feel like. Round 3 I played a green-purple Luffy and I went first and I won. That was the first time I played out the Odin, and I was able to just swing like 13-13 for game. Round 4 I played a Shanks and I went first and I lost, which to me I felt like I had a somewhat favorable matchup into that. I did like misplay a little bit, and he kind of caught me off guard with a more like rush variant of the build, which I wasn't ready for, so I lost that one. Round 5 was a blue-purple Luffy. I went first and I won. I think Odin, I played out Odin in that one and he did pretty good. What I figured out though in that matchup was going first, and I hadn't really done this before the tournament, but going first playing Odin on 7, and then on 9 playing Kid, and then just leaving your Odin active, that way they can't swing over it, was super strong, because then going into the next turn they couldn't swing over Kid, and so I just had a 9k and an 8k and then whatever else, so that was super good. The next round I played a blue-purple again and I went first and I lost. He ended up like being able to starve me sort of well, and then he was able to red rock the Odin, unfortunately, and then that was kind of like nail in the coffin. After that I played another blue-purple Luffy and I went first and I won. Same deal. Those matches all kind of blurred my mind. I remember the first blue-purple I played, I ended up swinging 10 with pudding for game, and that was pretty funny. After that I played a Rayleigh. I went second and I lost, actually, which was super sad because at that point I was still X2. That he just high rolled, like he saw everything he needed to see. I didn't necessarily draw my pieces, like the Noji Ko's and whatnot, and so he ended up taking it. After that I played another blue-purple Luffy. I went first again and I won. he was playing like the Dofi package, and so it got to the point in the game where I got him down to 1 life, and I had Odin and Kid on board, and he must have had like 16 cards in his hand, and I top decked the pudding, so I puddinged him. That was pretty funny, and then he was kind of salty. And then my last round I played a green purple Luffy and I went second. I really like going second in that matchup because you take away their curve, and then getting Kikunojo out feels strong, having that like constant 6k swing. Yeah, I think that was I ended up just like, I think I high rolled him a little bit, so that ended up being like a relatively easy match. And so yeah, overall the deck felt really strong. I don't think I would change anything for that tournament specifically. If I had the knowledge of what I would face beforehand, I'd probably just remove Jozu from the deck. He felt super unimpactful. But had I faced any Bonnies or anything, I think he would have been pretty clutch. So yeah, not much else to say, I guess. Performed well, I think. I think the deck could have done even better. I felt like I made a couple big misplays in 2 of the matches I lost, and so it would have been interesting to see had I played it better, what could have happened. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I think the deck's still really strong. Yeah, if you want to play Nami, I think it's a good format, especially going into 13. It gets a lot of support. I don't think the matchups are as bad as people think they are. I think it just takes a lot of practice with the deck to know your lines and your sequencing with it. So yeah, that's it for today. Go Nami. Yeah, as always guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share out the thread. GLG out.